Friends, UPSC 23 mains results are out. Congrats to the candidates who cleared the main stage and going to personality test. But those candidates who could not make it, I know it's very disappointing, but you have got over 6 months of time for next attempt. So make the most of it. Next 2 to 3 months, focus on the mains only. You can start preparing for prelims from February month. And this is a blessing in disguise for the candidates who could not clear it, particularly if your mains is not so great. Because if you fail the examination at the final stage, you will get very less time to make any changes or improvements in the mains. But now you have enough time to improve your optional as well as mains answer writing. Now coming to the candidates who cleared mains and going to personality test, one thing I will tell you is that just like how you have put effort for prelims and mains, you have to put effort for the personal test also. Here with me today I have Mr. Thirupathi, an IRS officer who scored 195 marks in UPSC 2021 interview. So Thirupathi, what do you think is the best thing to do in the next 2 to 3 months to score highest marks in the interview stage, personal test stage?
Thank you, sir. Congratulations to all candidates who have cleared mains. Now it's a great opportunity for you to enter into the final step of the battle. It is very crucial step which can make or break your selection, or which can give you the desired service or preferred service. And when it comes to civil services interview preparation, one thing I want to make it very clear that it is not an interview. Though in general parlance we say that it is interview, actually it is, as mentioned in the syllabus of the UPSC civil services notification, it is personality test. Here the factual knowledge has already been tested in prelims as well as mains. That's why you reach this stage. So here now this is a great opportunity for all the candidates to showcase your qualities or officer-like qualities, so that the board will think that you are the best suitable candidate to be selected into the civil service, maybe into IAS, IPS or IRS. So what I observed during my preparation, especially interview preparation, is this: most candidates think that it is just interview is all about just 20 minutes question and answer session with the board members. We can just answer some of the questions. Our mains would have been went well, so that we can speak something before the board for 20 minutes. We will get at least half of the score and we get into the final list. But generally it will not happen. It will not happen. At this stage, most of the candidates who cleared, they will try to commit mistake. So what I observed is that to gain more out of this interview process, DAF is the golden opportunity for you, the detailed application form. If your DAF is very specific, very interesting, then 70 to 80% of the questions come from DAF, and that is your basket. So you worked on the DAF for next 4 to 5 days before the final submission of the DAF. Discuss with the experts like Sarat sir, who is very good at directing the candidate in filling the DAF, and I was also one of the beneficiaries of this guidance of DAF filling session. Because compared to my in 2020 when I went to UPSC interview, my DAF was not so specific; it was random. And when I took the guidance from Sarat sir before filling the DAF, and he suggested some tremendous changes. In 2020 interview, my DAF was very specific, and it was Anand sir board, TA Anand sir board, and 80% of, not even 80%, most of the questions. I think I faced 14 questions and 12 questions from DAF, and I worked very hard after filling the DAF. I worked very hard. What I did was, I made a notes for each and every keyword mentioned in the DAF. I brainstormed myself. I brainstormed with my friends who are also preparing for interview. I brainstormed with experts like Sarat sir. So I took each, suppose when it comes to the sports field, I filled kabaddi as my interesting sports. So I took kabaddi. I made around 30 to 40 questions on kabaddi so that I cannot miss any question that comes from the board. So for example, similarly, he used to take half an hour one-to-one session every day on different aspects of the DAF. Like one day educational qualification, another day my employment experience, another day hobbies, another day prizes and awards that I have won, like that. So he tested all possible and multi-dimensional ways so that I cannot miss any aspect of the DAF, and also I developed the quality of speaking at least 30 to 35 minutes on each and every keywords I mentioned in the DAF. So this personality test is all about showcase your officer-like qualities. It is a formal engagement with the board members. It's not a doctor and patient interaction. It is a formal conversation to showcase your enthusiasm, to showcase your passion, to showcase your energy. That is how the interview preparation helped me. And when it comes to mock interview, I felt like, and previous attempt, I gave around 15 mock interviews. So I did not get proper feedback on, because I attended mock interviews at different institutes, and they used to ask me questions for 20 to 25 minutes from various topics like general knowledge, current affairs. So I was not get a chance to showcase my qualities, officer-like qualities, my passion. So attending more mock interviews did not help me in my previous attempt. But in the attempt in which I got selected, I gave only 3 to 4 mock interviews. Only after one-to-one session on various fields that I mentioned in the DAF, it was very helpful, and I was very passionate to talk about in front of the board even 2 months before my actual interview. This approach helped me a lot.
Just like how Thirupathi said just now, compared to the mock interviews, having one-to-one session with somebody you believe in, whom you think has good knowledge on personality test, on each topic of the DAF will help you prepare better on every topic, and it will improve your confidence on academic background, job experience, on your village, your state, and then your hobbies, activities, prizes, medals, everything. Also, there are a few things you have to do, you must do, which Thirupathi has done really well in the 2 months of preparation for the personality test. One is practice talking, either discussion with friends or debates with friends or one-to-one sessions, whatever. We have to talk more and more, either topics in the DA or current affairs or whatever. It's a practice. You cannot just keep on reading the books. You have to practice. Practicing means how do you express yourself. Some of the practice sessions can be in front of mirror so that you can analyze yourself.
Practicing in front of mirror helped me a lot. Because while making conversation with anyone, especially the board members, you have to have a smile on your face. So that can be inculcated only through practice in front of the mirror, especially. Yes. Because you are the best judge for yourself. It is knowing thyself.
Self-assessment.
Yes.
When you talk in front of mirror, you understand your expressions,
yes,
how they are, where you feel uncomfortable, where to improve. Similarly, wherever students are doing one-to-one sessions with me, I am recording them and giving to them so that they can see themselves how they are talking. That is also self-assessment. Second thing you have to practice is, you have to take all opinion-based questions or case study-based questions. Generally, we give 2 opinion-based questions, maybe current affairs, opinions on current affairs, or opinions on yourself. I mean, opinion about your education, why you have studied only civil engineering, why not BA, or why only BCom, opinion, your opinion on various things. Basically, opinion-based questions is something wherein your actual ability to interpret the things around you will come out more clear. So, deal them. Third thing you have to do is that,
see, one more thing, like Sir just said that opinion-based questions is again a great opportunity for the candidate. Because whenever you face the opinion-based question, be courageous to take any stand, but with proper substantiation. So generally, people think that we should support only government policies and government stands. And most of the times, you should support. Of course, there is nothing wrong. You should support, But sometimes there is an occasion, some policies you can you can criticize the policies, but criticize scientifically based on evidence-based policy making. Like give that the policy can be based on the evidence and empirical data and scientifically collected data. So for that such type of questions, don't be don't be courageous to criticize the government policies, but with proper substantiation. You should be in a position to give at least 4 to 5 reasons. Then board members will think that you are dynamic and flexible and you are a good leadership qualities in you. So the qualities have already been mentioned in the syllabus. If you go through the notification, they have mentioned each and every keywords that will be tested in the personality test. They already clearly mentioned it is not a mere test of knowledge. If you after filling the draft, before you attend any one-to-one session or any mock interview, please by heart the interview syllabus. Please by heart the interview syllabus given in the notification and understand the essence of each and every keyword. That is how your approach should be when it comes to personality test. And one more thing I would like to tell is that when you face the human resource management questions like why do you want to join civil services, why did you do engineering, and why again want to come to civil services, again that is a great opportunity for you. You create a context and you present the context before the board like a story narration so that they will be convinced. Create a context and present before them in a formal way, like with a small story. So practice that. You may not have a strong reason to come into the civil service, but during the preparation of 2-3 months before you actually attempt the interview, you brainstorm yourself and you sit alone for a while in a room and brainstorm yourself and create a context and think about a story. Get happiness in thinking for such type of questions. Right?
Just like how you said, you can criticize. We call it as constructive criticism. You criticize by telling what is the alternative that we can do. For example, government has done something. You can tell that though this is okay, government would have done this, it's better. Means constructive criticism. Your opinion should be constructive. And also, friends, DA filling, as he said, plays a very important role because particularly in the section 7 of the DF2, where we mention the prizes, medals, scholarships, hobbies, sports, these things, leadership qualities, these things. The words which you use shall actually attract the attention of the board members. It should be simple and specific. It will make them ask more questions on that. If your DAF is very simple and the words which you use are very trivial words which do not attract the attention, then obviously the board members will not have any interest to ask questions on DAF. They may go and ask questions on current affairs or maybe optional or maybe even academics. For example, if you are mechanical engineer, they may ask questions on mechanical engineering, whatever. Of course, you have to prepare those things also. You shall prepare your academic background, current affairs, all these things. But if you focus more on DA filling by using the right words, more percentage of interview will be on the DA. Advantage is that as you prepare very well on the DA, you'll be more confident answering them. Also, like how he said, you have to make all possible questions and notes. Expect questions. For example, based on the DF, you can expect questions. Or even in our DF sessions also, what we do is, we give all the expert questions for the students based on the DF, which student can write down and make answers for those questions. And they can come back and show the answers, so we can improve some answers. If you feel some answers are not really honest, or some answers are not really engaging, or they are not evidence-based, they are not critical, they are not logically, analytically good, we may try to slightly improvise the answers. That's why we have to work on the DF and then that should prepare for the personality test. So, anything else you forgot?
That is how. And one more thing, that be thorough with the latest current affairs, especially current issues. Rather than current affairs, current issues, develop a opinion on each and every issue. Discuss with your friends. For the next 2-3 months, step into the shoes of interview board member. So talk, practice more speaking. Always have a discussion with your friends. Whatever you do for the next 2-3 months, think about the interview, this conversation only, the formal conversation interview only. If you do this practice for at least next 30 to 45 days, I am sure everyone will get at least 180 plus average on an average.
Like how he said, no, current affairs also. Reading newspaper is must, but along with that, most important issues which you think are happening from last few months, try to read some magazine, like Frontline or Live Mint, some magazine, wherein you get in-detail analysis, not opinions, ground level understanding of the situation. They are more important because your answer cannot be simply bookish. You should have certain ground information. You should have originality in your thought. That can come only if you read extensively on selected current affairs which you think are very important. Go for the magazines. Prepare that way. Slightly brush up your academic background.
One more thing I forgot. If you are a candidate who just finished your graduation, maybe BTech or medical, be thorough with the basics of some important subjects in basics, because most of the boards, one academician will be there and he will be definitely testing your academician knowledge. At least you thorough with the basics. If it is very difficult question, you can avoid it by asking the permission of the board, but basics you thorough with that. That will be definitely a added advantage too.
Particularly if you are a fresh graduate, they will ask more questions than graduation. But if you have a long gap between the graduation and the interview time, in that gap, if you have pursued some jobs, you have done some jobs, say profession, expect more questions from the profession.
Profession also.
Profession.
Because you are the one who worked, you are the one who had that knowledge on that particular job or employment, and you should be in a position to talk more eagerly on that job or employment. But some people, what they do, without doing any job, they just fill it. But when the questions come from the board, they will not be in a position to answer them, and that will give very, very bad impression. They will end up in getting 90 to 100.
Yeah, because honesty is the first parameter on which they measure you while giving marks is honesty. So you should be honest.
Honesty is the prime quality they test from the candidate.
More than the communication. Honesty.
And communication also, you make a simple communication. Don't worry about that your English vocabulary. They don't test that. They don't want flowery language. So whatever you communicate, make that communication with clarity of thought and coherence. That is what makes. And of course, confidence is one more important quality they wanted to test.
And confidence naturally comes when you have more one-to-one sessions.
More practice. More practice.
You get the confidence naturally. Also, see, just like how honest is important, honesty means what? If you don't know about something, tell you don't know in a very humble way. Out of 20 questions, if 10 questions if you don't know the answer, factual questions you're talking about, 10 questions you tell you don't know. Remember 10 questions if you know the answer, you answer them very well, you will get more marks than the candidate who bluffed some questions. Some candidates come out of the interview tell me that, sir, out of 20 questions, I answered 19 questions, 18 questions. That doesn't really matter. As 10 questions also okay, as long as you answer honest, to the point, specific, evidence-based. That is very important. But opinions-based questions, don't tell you don't know. You can tell that, sir, on this particular issue, I don't have enough information to come to your opinion. You can tell like that if you do not know anything about it. But not knowing anything about your own place or why you have chosen this profession, those things you cannot tell you don't know. So be specific about that.
And be humble and have a smile on your face.
Yeah. Means keep it as an interesting conversation rather than a question answer viva voice session. Don't keep it like that. Also, all your hobbies or the sports you play or the leadership roles you have played in the school, college, if they ask questions, you should be passionate. Tell them with passion. Only then understand that, okay, whatever this person has done in his or her life, he has done with passion. He wants to discuss about that, tell about that. He has got a lot of learning experience from the job, role, hobby, whatever. Don't tell about your hobbies or your leadership qualities in a very dry tone. That's not good actually. Because you have to make it interesting for them. They are doing interviews almost 7 interviews every day, continuously. So keep it interesting for them. They also should know a conversation with you. Try to engage them, practice such a way. In this matter, smile plays a very important role. And for example, any general questions like why do you play cricket? I mean, what made you spend so much time cricket? You have to tell so many points that at some point of time they have to say, okay, let us move next question. They should actually ask you to move next question. Till then you have to go on telling. That is the kind of passion you have to exhibit while answering questions or hobbies or these kind of things. I think more or less the same, right?
More or less same, but work. I think if you work hard for the next 2 months, definitely you will get good score. Work on the approach that we talked just before. It will definitely give you fruitful results and make you in the final list or give you desired service.
And friends, we are doing interview guidance in few stages. The first stage is we explain DAF filling. We help the person how to fill the DAF in a better way. Second stage, in the DAF, we take each thing, education, one-to-one session, then your job or your state and village or one current affairs, one opinion-based one-to-one session, then one case study-based one-to-one session. So we conduct more one-to-one sessions and we give you expected questions based on the DAF and expected questions based on state, present current affairs. So you can make a detailed notes on that. You have to make a proper 100-page notes on that, several questions and answers. If you have 150 pages, so you have to prepare in that way. Finally, before interview, few weeks before interview, we'll even conduct mock interviews with full panel consisting of IAS, IPS, IRS officers, so that we'll get the real feel of the interview. So these are the different stages in which we want to guide you in order for you to score more in the interview, personality test. Thank you, friends.
All the best.
All the best.